Hi folks, Ron Marlowe here with Wired For You. I'm going to show you how to make a crucifix cross today. I'm going to take it slow, do a nice job for you here. Alright. We'll start off with a piece of sterling silver. We're going to make it approximately 20-25 inches in length. You should have a little left over at the end of this for other projects. Here we go. Take the time to clean the wire while it is straight. Run your thumb against the curve of the wire so that it straightens up a little bit. See if you have a little bit of a bow in the wire going one direction. Put your fingers and put a little tension in the opposite direction so it straighten it up. You will get a little dirty doing this. Wire does have a tendency to get to your hands. It will cut you a little bit on occasion. Just take your time, be careful, do the job right. Okay, now, piece of wire, 21 gauge, half hard, square. First thing you do when you're making the crucifix is to make the head of Jesus. This is taking me a very long time to get this pattern the right way I like it. I used to make the Jesus and then I would put the body on it, put the body and make the cross and match it up. I found that was a little tedious. I'm going to reach across. I'm going to grab a hammer here. We're going to lay the hammer out. And this is just a tool that I had handy. So kind of look there. Do I have the center of my piece of wire? And a little bit more of this direction, so I think that's about right. Okay. Keep a hold of the center. Put a circular loop slightly large at the top and take them in opposite directions. So what I've done is I've made a loop like so. Okay. Very simple. Now, you can take these up. These are going to be the arms on the crucifix. Jesus' arms. Take them up a little bit more than you want. You can actually make wings through here. I've done that. But at this point, I'm just going to put a fold on the top edge of the arm and fold it back down towards the body. Okay? Take time, make it very neat, be very crisp on everything you do here. Your end work will be a lot nicer. You'll be rewarded in the end. So, what I've done here now is put a little angle on it coming off of the arm. I brought the wire back down and came off the body right where I think the shoulder would be. Same exact thing on the opposite side. Everything here is very even. Make the arms slightly longer than you think you'd like to see them, because we're going to have to put a little angle on them later on. There we go. So, take it back down. Find about where you would think the shoulder would be. And so far, there we go. This is where we're at so far. Cool. All right. Bring the two pieces of the lower portion that you just had and crisscross them where you think maybe the chest would end for a torso. I'm going to take the right one over top, and I'm going to take this wire and spiral it, bound it just a little bit in the center. And I'm always going to end with it pointing up. Okay? Pointing up. There we go. So here's the one leg. There's two pieces. I spiral it around and I'm pointing it straight up. Do the same thing with the opposite wire. Bring the two together. Work the two nice and gently so that they kind of coincide with each other. See how I'm pushing those two wires so that they have about the same bend in them? Now, they're up. Go back down by folding them down. Just a little bit of an angle. And see what we're doing is we're making the legs. Once you get to a certain point, get down here and put the 2 feet together. Find out where you want feet to be and bring it forward. So again, we have the arms, we have the head, we have the main body, we have a little swaddling cloth or a piece of loincloth right around the center. Folded one up, so this would be where the knees are. We went back down the lower half of the leg and we folded them up so that they would have a foot right here. Okay, now you can at this point, if you would like to make a little bit more advanced piece, take a hammer and a little anvil of some type, put them together. I would use a hammer like I have here in my hand from Rio, and I would flatten those pieces just a little bit right there. Okay? It widens up the feet. It makes them look a little bit more triangular at the base when you're done. After you have done that, bind them right there if you'd like. Okay? Let's go ahead and do that for a couple places. One, the head, we're going to put a thorny crown on it. You can push one side out, push the other side out, and when I did that, it gives it a little bit more of a head shape. All right, still got the arms out here. We're going to tailor this just a little bit. Grab a hold of the very long portion of the arms and curl it down fractionally. Same thing with the opposite side. Just give it a very small tendency to go downward. All right. So we've pointed these down. We've shaped the head a little bit. We're going to reach over and grab another tool now. The pin vise. Here's a pin vise. We're introduced to it if you watch the Bar Bending 101. You can get this from Rio Grande. You can find them online. They have a tendency to always like to have the brass ones. Just run a little better, run smoother. This piece of wire, we're going to nip it off, and we're going to put the end of the pin vise in it. Okay, one end's got a square bit. Tap it down a little bit, it opens up the jaws, and then grab the tip of the wire and slip it in there. Take your time, don't go fast. There we go. Now, grab the opposite end of the wire and spiral it. All right, I heard a little tink. I want to make it tighter. Now, a simple way to do this quickly, I'm going to do it off camera, is to hold onto the right-hand side of the wire, hold the pin vise, keeping this hand straight, roll the pin vise down the length of your own leg. I'll show you how fast this is done. Square piece of wire right now. I'm just going to lay it on my leg, hold the pin vise, one hand, and run it down my leg, and within seconds, you have a nice spiraled wire. Again, all I was doing is rolling like here and holding here. Take your piece of wire out of your pin vise, set that aside. All right. I'm going to make the thorny crown that goes on the top of Jesus' head. And the way I'm going to do that is to go to the very end of this piece of wire and make a little tiny loop. There is a tiny loop with an opening on the end of it. Okay. And you just want it big enough to slip over the top of the head. So go inside there. Put a little bit of an angle on it if you want. I find it looks a little better with the angle. This is the back side of the Jesus. Slip it on there and close that loop. That loop you made. Doesn't matter where you close it at this point. We're going to slide it up into a different position. So this fold it over. All right. Here we go. Now, take the time to do it. Fold it back behind the head and crimp it again. All right. Now, you can crisscross these if you wish. Either way, this is going to be the thorny crown. Take it back inside there. Nip it off with your nippers. Remember, use them a little tiny, tight, guys. And fold that piece in so that it doesn't come in contact with your customer's skin. There we go. All right. Fold it forward. Jesus had his head hanging down a little bit. All right. Now, we're going to do something with this center portion here. We're going to put a heart in there, but it's going to be done after we make the cross. Straighten out your bottom pieces of wire. Keep them as neat as you can. Crisscross the feet. All right. Lay them together. Crisscross the wire and then lay them together. Now, go down a little bit down the body. It's going to be a fairly good sized cross. Fold it up the body. So I went behind and straight up. Make sure your wires are neat. Very clean. Find the portion behind the head. Keep the wires neat. Hold them. Fold them out on a 90-degree angle in opposite directions. Pick up your distance just beyond the length of the arm and fold it back towards the head. All right. Keep it neat. Touch the two together. Find out which one you just brought up. And there it is. Okay, so the back side of this half of the cross, you're looking at it from behind on the camera right now. This is where I went behind, up, and tied it there. So you have a cross. This is the back side of it again. Try and make the left-hand side of the cross the same as you made the right-hand side from the rear. All right, and fold it north. As we're going to go up towards the top of the cross. Here, if you hold Jesus down a little bit right here and you look at the distance going down the cross, you can always fold it there. Keep it as neat as you possibly can on your bends. Keep it straight, parallel, good looking all the way around. Close that little one right there. Go down to the end of the shaft and fold it upward. All right. There it is so far. Long video, I understand. More complicated cross. If you make this one, I have easily sold it for $65 and above in sterling silver. It is a nice cross. I enjoy making it. Go above the head. Bring it around. Tie the cross any way you want. I like doing a little loop here. It's very simple. It does offset somewhat off of the straightness of the cross. Open it up a little bit. Fix that with your own pliers. But do take the time to make it neat and make sure that none of the wires come near the customer. On the front half of it right here, we're going to nip these two off. And we're going to fold those ends in. Make sure there's nothing sharp there so you can't cut anybody. Double check your tops, make it as square as you possibly can. Now, at the moment, Jesus is just floating there on the cross, off of the cross. This is not a good piece of jewelry. It would come apart on the customer. Go back to that spiraled piece of wire, fold a piece of it over, and you want to kind of give you a little bit of working room on each side. All right? If you want to open it up a little bit, what we're wanting to do now is bind the hands to the cross or the feet, and here's how we do it. Remember, you left yourself a little extra. Pull them up. Pull it up so that it's against the top half of the cross, and preferably in front. There we go. Don't worry. Jesus can sag on this cross. All right. There we go. One time around. Put the two pieces together. Keep it neat. Neatness counts. Precision's important. All right. Remember the tip of the hand? Give it a little bit of a bow. Fold those over with. And the back piece over here, I would personally want to wrap it around into the front so that it is, again, not touching the customer. Make those nice and crisp. Okay? From here, take your wire nippers, get inside there, cut them off, go on the opposite side, do another cut off. Make sure there's nothing sharp on the back side, and then roll off the front ties. Okay? One there. Feels good. All right, opposite arm, same deal. Running out of little sterling, so I'm going to nip myself off another section and spin it again with the pen vise one more time. Slip it in there. Tighten it down on it. Get a good, nice tight grip. Grab it with your chain nose or your flat nose pliers. Make sure it is straight and spiral it. Again, I'm going to lay this on my leg. Spin this side on the left, holding it with the right hand nice and tight. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 does it. So that you get a diamond cut or a spiral piece of wire. Okay, straighten it up a little bit. Notice this is a little tight. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but this is a little tighter weave than down here. Take your time, go a little bit slower on sterling. I did that fast. That sterling needs a little time to react. Gold, you can go as fast as you want. It'll catch up and spiral the same all the way. Spiral on sterling will want to be tight down here, loose down here, just the nature of the metal. Okay, reach in. Let's use that tight spiral. Might show a little better. Again, flip it over, leave yourself a little section in here, and tie the opposite hand onto the cross. Okay, slipping in there. Hold this back piece, giving a good little tie in here. There we go. Nice and happy with that. Grab the underside, pull it forward, make sure it doesn't hurt anybody, and nip off those ends again. One right inside here. Okay, this one has got to be brought one more time around. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll just bend it back off and we'll nip it halfway point. Okay, slip that back up in there. Just want it to be nice and tight and be safe. Okay, good. So at this point, this is where we are. We got the arms bound. We need to take the head and very carefully pull it up just a little bit and then tilt it forward. Pull it up a little bit, tilt it forward. You might even put a little bit of an angle on it so that it's tilting down and to the left. Okay, the arms are bound. The feet are not bound. Now, you can go through the in-between here and tie it directly to the cross, or you can just take it around the top of the feet, which I personally prefer, just as a little touch. Again, taking it to the chain nose pliers. folding it over, slipping it on that little section right there, and just giving that little bit of a extra bit of decor, or a little bit of a detail added to the crucifix. Okay, let's take that around. And as always, make sure you don't come in contact with your customer's skin. Nip it in, grab that little piece of wire, and roll it in between the two. Put it right in between the cross and the feet, and crimp it nice and good and strong. There's one. Feel it, make sure it's right. Go to the opposite side and do the same exact thing. Okay. Get that in there. Double check this side a little bit. Make it just as crisp as it can. Feel it. Make sure it looks nice. All right. Now we've got the upper half of the cross tied, the lower half of the cross tied, the arms tied to the cross. Opening this section up here, just like any other cross that I've done previous, I like to give it just a little peel out so the upper half is slightly different than the other half. In here, you've got an empty spot. All right. Put something in there. You can, if it's a small chest size, then no, you don't have to put nothing in there. But I like putting a little heart in there, a little sacred heart of Jesus, however you wish to phrase it. Straighten out your piece of wire. Here's square. I'm going to point it straight up. Okay. Now, grabbing my round nose pliers, I'm going to go about halfway on the taper. I'm going to fold the front wire around the chain nose pliers so that I now have this simple little heart. Reaching in here, folding it back up. I have folded it behind the leg that I just made. So here is again the heart itself, folded it back up and went behind. Grab the tip, fold it over. I do have videos on how to make these little hearts nice and crisp. Roll it around the chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, and then pull it out again. All right, so what you've got is they look like so. Little tiny heart, pull off wire here and a pull off wire here. You can do this a couple different ways. If you want to fold this very carefully back out into the behind side of the cross, then you can pick up your crucifix and slip it in and find a place that you're satisfied with where it goes. All right, here's a nice little touch. It's right in the center. I'll reach over. I want to make sure that it's tied on safely. All right. Where should we tie it on? If you fold the wire over towards the body, and then nip it right in here, now you have enough room, and the wire is short enough that you can take it and tuck it inside the heart itself. Okay. I've brought it to this side. It's in the front, and now I'm going to curve it one more time. Not here, doesn't feel here. Nice piece of wire. Look here, we got this little piece of segment right here. All right, let's spiral that wire. Okay, open the chain nose. Oh, open the pin vise. My mistake. And take the time to spiral that wire right in place. Take it back off. Go down here. All right, now you can tie that back down below if you'd like. It's a nice little touch to it. You can take it up underneath the cross, okay, and hide it in there. I just find a little place that I like to see where it's going, and I had that little touch, okay. You can tie this onto, if you wanted to, you can go back right here to this crimp that we worked so hard on. I'll take it back off. If I find I want to put some detail at the bottom of this, I'm going to cut that piece of wire off every time. All right. Sharp little nippers, do a nice job. Make sure you don't shoot it into your eyes. Hold it right here. Give it a little tie off, okay? Remember, don't let it touch the back of the skin. All right. I'll fold it in. I'll fold that over. Now, we're not quite done. We got to do some detail work. That could be nipped off right here. We'll be fine. Again, boom. All right, nice and smooth. See the legs right here? Take one and pull one slightly apart from the other one. Okay? It'll give you a little detail. If you slip your needle and nose pliers in there, do it. Okay? And just kind of separate them just a hair's breadth. All right. I can get the pliers in there. Let's see here. There they go. Just a little slip in there. Okay, it adds a touch of detail to the legs. Check your arms. Make sure your hands are right. Check for squareness all around. All right. And this is a crucifix cross with a little Jesus and a little heart in the center. Okay. Sterling silver. This section right here is naturally where you'd put your chain, slip it through there, and let the customer wear it. This has been Ron Marlowe with Wired for You. If you've learned something, enjoyed making this cross, if you would please hit the like button down below. Thank you.